What's good, everybody? This your boy Mike coming to you with another awesome episode of Reality Warpers. Alright, guys and girls, just want to give you a quick reminder. Make sure you hydrate when you wake up. Make sure you hydrate in the morning. It's one of the best ways to start a rhythm going in your process. You got to make sure you add in new habits when you're going through these changes. Okay, so just wanted to make a quick announcement before I start my video. I made a big announcement a few episodes ago where I was speaking about me creating an organization with some other mentors called Wiser Reality, and that website is now active and available. It's called Wiser Reality Association, so you all check it out. www, of course, wiserrealityassociation.com. Y'all, you can contact us directly through there, send in your information, and you can contact us for one-on-one mentorship, or if you would like to join the organization to get more information like this and even deeper spiritual information, hit us up. All right, also check out the descriptions. I leave my email, my Reality Warpers email, so you can contact me personally through there. All right. So now I want to get into the video. Today's topic is going to be about loneliness, what to do during the time of your loneliness, and the process of your spiritual growth. All right. So on your path, once you decide to take this spiritual path in life, you're going to go through a lot of growing and changing. The loneliness comes from you basically like detaching yourself from the old version of yourself. So that's friends, family, different places of environment. And when you get to those points in your life, it's going to be times where it's like being around those friends and family or whatever is not as comfortable to you as it usually have been. Going to a certain place of work is not as comfortable as it used to have been when you first started working there. There might be some things going on with your boss, or something going on with an employee, or you know the pay that you're getting, you're not comfortable with it, or position that you want is not available, etc. So when you get on this path of spirituality, there's a connection that you and God or the universe or whatever name you want to give it, there's a connection that you begin to have where it starts to remove the things that does not benefit you and that is not going to benefit you in your path of transition. Okay, so this is where your loneliness come from. Sometimes you might not want to hang around friends and stuff. When y'all talking to each other, you start to feel like, man, you're thinking in the back of your head, man, like every time we're around each other, we always talking about the same thing. Or, we're really not talking about nothing that's, helping me grow or helping me, change anything or anything like that. You're going to get those moments where you feel that way. That's a part of you detaching yourself. That's part of you starting to detach yourself. The first thing of it is realizing that. Okay, you have to realize what's going on before you can start taking the next step. Okay, so understanding that the emotions and the mindset that you have when you get around those people now, when you feel like you're starting to detach yourself, that's a part of you yourself, your consciousness, your higher self is telling you it's time to detach yourself from this. That goes for relationships and other different things in your life as well. Sometimes we hold on to relationships longer than we supposed to, and we feel like um well, you have to fight through certain things or all that kind of stuff like that if you love someone and all that. And speaking about love, that's a whole nother topic, to get on. But that's true. But at the same time, there is a part in that relationship where it is fully blatant that it's time to move on from this situation. Okay? So, by you forcing yourself to keep something in your life, that's only you prolonging your growth. That's only you hindering your growth, because sometimes when you are making transitions in your life, certain people and certain things are not supposed to be there. Therefore, if you bring it there, it's not going to let you dwell into where you're bringing in something or baggage that's not supposed to be in that vibrational level. Okay? Now, when you get to that point of time where you don't want to go to the places that you want to go, that you used to go to, like the clubbing and all of that kind of stuff, the friends and stuff that you're hanging out with, you don't really hang out with them like that, even family members, etc., etc. There's a point in your time where there's not really much to do that you think, no people to hang out with, so you're alone. Okay. When you get to that point of loneliness, this is, look at loneliness as a blueprint. Okay, you know how they say, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. That's when they start over something that they have started already and it did not work, or it's time to move on from it. They go to the drawing board and start a whole new plan and process. When you get to that point in your life where you are lonely, that's you going back to the drawing board. Okay? Blueprint what you want your life to look like from that point forward. The information that you take in, meaning social media, the way you use your technology, all the answers of different things that you want in your life, or the questions that you have in life, is right there in your pocket. And you walk around and you use it for nonsense a lot of times. I made a video on my TikTok recently. That's Reality Warpers, by the way, if you all want to follow me on TikTok. I made a video and I was talking about the views from different videos that I've seen. I use different videos for research purposes, looking on going deeper into spiritual information and all of that kind of stuff. And I something that I noticed was the amount of views certain videos get. There'll be videos where people, doing, little stuff like that, and because it got a certain music attached to it, or they're doing a certain challenge or whatever, the video get thousands and sometimes millions of views. It be people that don't talk or say anything, and they just stand there, and because they look a certain way, they get millions of views, whatever, versus someone that's giving you some intellectual information get, a few thousand views, whatever. But I was making that point because it shows where the mass majority of people mindset is, from where you put your views. What are you always looking at and putting into your body? Your eyes is the window of your soul. But so if you are putting in whatever information you are looking at, what information is you giving your soul? Okay, so you have to pay attention to things like that. And when you start looking at your life like that, in that kind of way, you start wanting to do better and clean up your life. All right. When I say clean up your life, you can clean up your timeline. Whatever you pay attention to on a consistent basis. If anybody look at YouTube on a consistent basis, you will understand the algorithm of YouTube. When you click on one type of video, YouTube start throwing you a bunch of videos that's similar to that video, whether that's funny videos, pet videos, or informational videos, philosophical videos, or whatever. Once you start clicking on a video, especially if you subscribe to a channel that's mostly that, it starts sending you more videos and information that's similar to that. You have to clean that up. If you done subscribe to a bunch of channels that really don't help you in any kind of way or whatever, unsubscribe from them and start subscribing to other channels. That's all you have to do to clean up your timeline. Same thing with social media. If you have different friends or family members or whatever, that's always talking about drama or nonsense or gossip or whatever, okay, you can mute them in a certain way. You don't have to unfriend them, but you can mute them where you don't see what they post anymore. It's ways to work around these things, but it's some people that you just have to cut off completely, and you have to figure out who that is in your life. It's some people that's, I'm not saying bad things not supposed to happen to you, because when you experience these bad things and when you experience these bad people, or people that have toxic traits or whatever, there are lessons that you supposed to learn from those people, places, and situations. In order to get out the cycle of continuously attracting those situations, you have to learn the lesson. If you don't learn the lesson that life is trying to teach you, you are going to continue to go through that cycle. That is why it is important for you to understand your spiritual growth. When you are growing in life, just because you don't care or you don't pay attention to different spiritual things, you only study one type of spiritual thing, whether that's a certain religion or whatever, just because you don't understand does not mean you are not going to be punished for not knowing. Like in the Bible, and I'm not trying to make this a religious thing or anything like that, but in the Bible it says, my people die from lack of knowledge, perish from lack of knowledge. It also says, obey the laws of the land. Now, when you hear those kind of things, you automatically think police, government, obey the laws of the land, that kind of thing. There are other laws that's set in motion that you have to obey as well. There are certain, like law of gravity, that kind of thing. There are other laws, spiritual laws, that you have to follow and understand in order to grow. Just because you don't know about them does not mean you are not going to be punished for not understanding them. And the punishment a lot of time is the fact that you are staying in the cycle that you are in. And just think about how many times you get to a certain point in your life where you're growing, but it's like you can only get to a certain point and you drop right back down. That's the cycle that you are stuck in. You have to make changes and adapt to certain things in your life in order to break through that seal and get to the next level in your life. Okay? So, when you are in that point of your life of loneliness, it's now time to start building that blueprint. Start inputting new information, different information. Do your research. All the answers that you want is right there in your phone, right there in your pocket. Start searching different things, that different videos you have been seeing, the things that they have said. Don't just go off of their word. Research what they are talking about. If I say something about a book, go and find the book. Read what the books say. Go and find other books from that author and just read different things that they say, or look up different audio books. They have plenty of audio books on YouTube for free where you can just sit, and instead of listening to certain music, you just give an hour of your time out of the day to listen to an audio book. Hour a day out of the book. Sometimes the books are 4 hours long and stuff like that. Just give it an hour a day. You'll read the whole book within 4 days, 5 days, and just continuously add in that information. When you start doing these kind of things, the connection that you have with God starts putting people, places, and things in your path that connects with where you are trying to go. I give you your heart's desires. You get that? Okay. So what you want, you have to want it. While you in these lower states, you really don't want it. You just want something to just drop in your lap. When you want it, it's now you want to create that reality for yourself. Okay, when you get to that point, it starts magnetizing certain people, places, and things. You'll get into certain situations where you meet people that you're not used to meeting. They talk to you and they start saying certain things, and you start making connections with people. You probably exchange numbers, social medias, or whatever. Slowly, you're starting to add new information and people around you. Remember, you are the 5 people that you hang around. The reason why I say that is because the people that you hang around, y'all are exchanging information with each other, and that information makes you respond to life in a specific way. If you are hanging around someone and they talk about money in one specific way, that's how you're going to react to money, in the way that you are exchanging information with these people on a consistent basis. But let's say you start conversating with people that moves money in a completely different way, like through cryptocurrency or credit or something like that. If you talk to this person on a more consistent basis and add more people that talk to you about that on a consistent basis, you now start gravitating to moving your life that way. So the 5 people that you hang around is basically who you are as a person, because of the magnetism you all create within each other and the information that you all share with each other. Okay? Now it's time for you to start adding in people. You have to get out of the like, for people that's in shells, that's not really people's people, or people's person. They don't really talk to people. They antisocial and stuff. You have to break yourself out of that shell and speak to people. There have been so many times where I'll be, in a vicinity of people, and there are people that won't even speak to you. Even if you do speak to them, hey, how you doing, whatever, they might, look at you or something, and then, don't say anything. And a lot of times that comes from fear. I don't know if I made a video about fear or not, but I have had mentorship classes that's open to the public on Tuesdays. By the way, follow the social groups in the descriptions, and we post the link on Tuesdays for public, and it's only gonna be for a limited time. Eventually it's gonna, change to different platforms and stuff, so get in while you can, you know. But I teach mentorship classes on Tuesdays and inner circle teachings on Thursdays for people that have already bought the membership and are part of the association now. On Thursdays is for them specifically, but Tuesdays is for the public, and I posted in different social groups and stuff that I have. Okay, I spoke about fear and how fear is an adaptive trait. Okay, fear, when it was first introduced to the human, was used for fight or flight. In dangerous situations, either that fear makes that human either fight the situation or run from it if it was too big or too strong for that one human, and then they go regroup, get more humans, and then come back, okay, to fight whatever the situation or the animal was. That is what fear was initially introduced to. Over time, it have adapted to, it's an adaptive trait. Fear have now adapted to fear of public speaking. You feel me? Fear of, you know, just seeing a random person just because of how they look, or whatever, because we have input, like we have um added in certain information about certain things in our life, so it puts a certain fear in our mind of those things. But those things do not kill us or harm us in a way. So just thinking about a situation, just giving out an example. People that's afraid of like a spider or something like that, you have a fear of that spider because of the information you have intaken about spiders, versus someone that's not afraid of spiders, they will go up and grab it. So two different people, but two different reactions to the same problem. You get what I'm saying? So it's an adaptive trait. Okay, you can't be afraid to change certain things in your life. You can't be fearful of adapting. Once you add in new information, you as a human, it's up to you to adapt to that situation. Okay, anything that does not adapt to the times, it dies. Whether that's an animal, whether that's a human, whether that's a business or whatever. If you cannot adapt to the change that's going on, it dies. Okay? So I and at, as far as, again, like I was saying, what do you do during that time of loneliness when you adding in that blueprint? Doing your research, also taking care of your body. The things that you input in your body as far as your diet and your food, that also revolves around the emotional mindset you have at your time of loneliness. Okay? Everything, again, is on a certain vibrational wavelength. The foods that you eat is on a certain vibrational wavelength. So if you continuously put lower vibrational energy into your body, it lowers your vibration, which also affects your mind and puts your mind in a lower vibration. So think about all of the lower vibrational feelings. So misery, sadness, depression, anger, just different things. And when you continuously add those things into your body, that's what draws those emotions. Okay? So you have to remember to take care of your body at the time of your loneliness. The foods that you put in, the energy that you put in, is not supposed to make you tired or sleepy when you eat and you get so full and stuff like that and you lay down and you go to sleep. You're not supposed to be tired from the energy that you put in. Imagine if you had a car and every time you filled your car up, your car don't crank. Just every time you fill your car, it just don't crank for like an hour or two. You have to wait an hour or two before it crank up, but it's a full tank of gas. You get what? Yeah. So when you fill your body up with energy, it's not supposed to crash. So you have to pay attention to the foods that you eat and make sure you're not overindulging in any of it, whether it's healthy for you or not. You do everything in moderation. I'm not trying to make you a vegan or anything like that. If that's the path that you decide that you want to go on, okay, good for you. But I'm saying make sure you are more self-conscious with the energy that you are putting in this body. Working out, that's another part of putting in your blueprint when you are in this path of feeling lonely. Okay, now listen, when you start doing at least 2 or 3 of these things on a consistent basis, you are putting yourself in what Napoleon Hill calls hypnotic rhythm. You are putting yourself in a hypnotic rhythm. They say it takes, I think, 60 or 90 days. I think it's 90 days for a habit to like become permanent in a person's mind. Okay, that's the hypnotic rhythm that you are doing in your life. Okay? When you are adding the different foods in your body, every 30 days, your body sheds itself. Okay? Like a snake. Our body is have very have many animalistic traits. I speak about that as well in some of my mentorship classes. We have we shed our skin every 30 days. Our cells shed and it reforms itself from the foods that you have eaten within a 30-day span. You are what you eat. Okay? So if you want your body to adjust to a certain weight, to a certain path that you're on, you have to give your body what it needs to survive on that path. And it's not going to survive with you eating cheeseburgers and different cakes and snacks and sodas and stuff like that. By doing that on a consistent basis, we already know what it does to our body as far as different diseases, diabetes, high blood pressure, and all kinds of stuff like that. We already know where at once we get of age where our energy starts going when we have lived our life that entire way our whole life. It starts going to the medical system. Our energy, our time, where we spend our time, that's energy, is going to be on a hospital bed. The money that we make or the money that we have saved up or whatever are going to be going to the hospitals. Our emotional mindset is going to be on a low vibrational frequency level because we're not living our purpose. Now we're bedridden, all because you can change your diet. So you are what you eat. Change that habit slowly but surely. Change have always been slow. It have never been fast. So you have to understand there's a process that you take. Yeah, you might backslide a time or two, whatever, but are you going to stop trying or you're going to try again and again and again, putting yourself in a hypnotic rhythm? You have to understand you have put yourself already in a hypnotic rhythm, but that hypnotic rhythm is negative. That hypnotic rhythm is doing negative things, more low vibrational things. You now have to spin the wheel back to good hypnotic rhythm, but you have to stop the spin first, the spin that's already going first. Okay, so it's going to take time to stop that wheel from spinning, and that's understandable. That's just human nature and how we are. But we have to continuously push to grow ourselves. All right. I spoke about also in my mentorship class about the butterfly, and this is gonna be my last thing, and I'm gonna leave you. Our life, what our spiritual journey is like like the traits of a butterfly, and I want you to think about it this way, so you can, like I said, if you think about things in a certain way, you react to it differently. Okay. That's why I refer different things like a video game, because you're very competitive. So you start reacting to life more competitively. Okay. When the caterpillar is born, it's a maggot and it turns into a worm. A lot of people are afraid of worms and little squiggly things. It looks ugly, all of that. Think about that caterpillar stage as the beginning stages of your life. You as a child, you growing up, you are getting information from the adults and stuff that you are around. That's your caterpillar stage. You're growing up through life, and you're, from the ages of, birth to about, um, like, mid-teen ages, 16 or maybe 18, whatever. That's your caterpillar stage. It's going to be a time in your life where everything just seems to start happening to you at one time. You may lose relationships, you may lose jobs, there might be a lot of change in your environment that's going on. It might be a lot that's happening to you at one time. Emotionally, you might be going through a lot, and a lot of times we may call it the lowest points in our life. All right? Think about that time of your life as the cocoon of the process. All of the negative things that you are going through, that is the cocoon of your spiritual journey right now. Now, something about that cocoon. In that cocoon, the caterpillar is changing. Okay? You are changing as a person when you are going through this turmoil. And you have to look at who you are as a person and go back to the blueprint and remake your life when you get to that certain point in your life of that cocoon. Okay? Something about that butterfly, though, does not come out of that cocoon until it's ready. Now, when you first are starting to get out of that cocoon, the crack in that cocoon is going to be when you start realizing the old things that you used to do and the old people that you used to hang around don't match your vibrational level anymore. That means when you are around this person, or when you're around this thing, or when you are around this place and stuff, you feel in yourself, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be talking to you. Again, when we around each other, we don't talk about nothing. We talk about the same old thing. We do the same old thing. We don't never grow. We've been doing this for 4-5 years, etc., etc. You get what I'm saying? Okay? When you get to that point in your life, that's the crack in the cocoon. In order for you to completely come out of that cocoon, that's where you go through the process that I just spoke about of implanting new information into you, working on your body, working on your health, working on your physical growth. And by doing all of these things, it helps with your mental, because you start acting different when you are feeling different. When your body starts feeling different, you start reacting to life in a different way. Therefore, you a lot of times are in a better emotional state when you are doing more higher vibrational things, and adding in higher vibrational energy into your life. When you get to the point where you have added in enough of that information. That's how you break through that cycle, breaking through the cocoon, and now you become the butterfly. Meaning you have changed into someone completely different. You have to understand that the caterpillar and the butterfly are on two different vibrational levels. One is crawling, one is flying. You can't do the same things that you used to do when you was a caterpillar as a butterfly. So it's going to be some people that you have to leave behind. That's understandable. Every butterfly grows at its own pace. Okay? So, in order for you to grow into that butterfly, you have to let some things go and grow into the person that you supposed to be. Okay? So, that's just a little of what I had about loneliness, what to do during loneliness, and understanding what your spiritual path really looks like from a physical point of view. You know, us as humans, we have to see things in order to believe it. All right? Understand that on this spiritual path, there's going to be a lot of things you can't see. Okay? You have to visualize it. Okay, so just giving you that little example of the butterfly is just a little visualization that you can use in order to help understand what your spiritual journey actually looks like. All right. So again, if you all want to do a little bit of mentorship one-on-one, or join the art organization that we have, Wiser Reality, you all please check out the descriptions, and you can either email me directly through the Reality Warpers email, or you can join the social media groups, and you can contact me throughout there. All right, this has been another awesome episode of Reality Warpers. Y'all check me out next time.